Thank you, Keith, and good evening, everybody. I'm Jackie Weatherall, Chief Executive for the City of Stonnington, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's historic session. Tonight signals a new direction for us, the creation of our first long-term community vision and the first steps towards the City of Stonnington's Council Plan 2021 to 2025. But before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm joining tonight's webinar from the lands of the Boonwurrung people. And I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you're joining us today, and acknowledge any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who may be participating in this webinar tonight. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters in the City of Stonnington and beyond. I'm so excited to be discussing two key documents which shapes Council's vision, strategies and directions for the future. We've been running our council meetings online, and everything's gone online this year with lots of success and interest from the community. And fundamentally, COVID-19 has changed things significantly for Council. We've had a loss of revenue, changes to our programs and services. For example, we can't open our libraries at the moment. We can't open our pools at the moment. And these have been enforced by restrictions. Our staff are working harder than they've ever had to work before, and we thank the community for their support during this period. The objective tonight, and for this first conversation with our community, is to understand how has COVID changed your priorities and shaped your perspective on Stonnington's future. This initial conversation is going to help us understand the aspirations of our diverse community and reflect these in a new community vision. It's also a great opportunity to provide first-hand feedback on these aspirations to the new incoming council, because we're just about to have an election, and that's going to take place within a short period of time. I'm delighted tonight to be joined by some members of our community that we've invited to share their unique perspectives and get the conversation started. I hope their willingness to get involved will encourage others to bring their perspectives to the conversation so we can have a truly representative, open and inclusive discussion.
No worries. So my name's Kate and I own and run Orthotics Plus, which is located on Wattle Tree Road in Melbourne. I started my business in 2012 and we're an allied health clinic. And when we were opening this clinic, I had a few requirements regarding the location. I wanted to be in a well-established health precinct. I wanted to be in an area where people were able to spend money on caring for their health. And I wanted to surround myself with other businesses that took pride in their appearance and their service. After being involved in the Glenferrie Road Malvern Traders Association for the past 8 years, and now I'm acting president, I do see the importance of the council precinct that you belong to. Stonnington was able to tick all my boxes. I see now the impact that council has on my business and the impact that my business has on others in the area. This has been extremely evident since March this year when COVID-19 hit. COVID-19 has altered the way we live our lives. It's forced people to remain local, but has also made people think more broadly about local community and the part of it that they know and love. Our vision for Malvern and Stonnington as business owners is that customers focus back towards local strip shopping, that feel safe shopping with the familiar local businesses in the area, that they can shop with the thought to support their local community and businesses to ensure that we survive this pandemic and come out on the other side. In regards to what I feel council might be able to offer us as businesses, I feel they can support our community by continuing to financially assist businesses with online business education and mentoring. They can listen, they can act quickly and acknowledge our needs. We need to work together to create a vibrant shopping precinct with art, history and seating reflective of our community and its needs. We need to create spaces for people to safely gather going forward, to meet with others and linger longer and shop more in our precinct. We'd love to see celebrations back in our precincts, encourage landlords and tenants to restore and brighten up our historic facades and fill the vacant spaces within our precinct. We want to work with council to attract people from outside to come into our area by curating types of businesses that are filling our empty shops. This will ensure a sustainable, ongoing business mix to meet the needs of Malvern and the Stonnington community. COVID-19 has given Stonnington Council the opportunity to look after its precinct, to look after its businesses and set the benchmark for other councils within Victoria.
I'm Elizabeth Brown, President of U3A Stonnington, University of the Third Age, but we usually just call it U3A.
Nice. Thank you.
COVID-19 has revolutionised U3A Stonnington, not so much what we do, but how we do it. So imagine yourself in charge of our association, about 500 members at the time, average age 80, and suddenly confined to home. Members are mostly retired people who crave the companionship, intellectual and other stimulation that we offer at U3A. Recent estimates show that people who are 65 years and older constitute about 16% of both the Australian and the Stonnington populations, and a quarter of these are likely to be living alone. And isolation is a potential major health problem, especially now in these testing times. You'll realise that we can't meet in person currently or for the foreseeable future. We've made more than half of our usual program available remotely by video conference, like this conference, a major feat for us. We've also offered extensive sessions for members to assist them to access our offerings. We believe that remote offerings are here to stay, possibly still mandatory at least until early in 2021. And then as part of blended offerings, that is face-to-face sessions, which are simultaneously video conferenced. And this will be a wider inclusion that can reach isolated members, retirement villages and aged care facilities, and this will extend our outreach. But some of our members lack equipment to access the internet. We currently can reach them just by post or phone, and others have equipment but lack confidence to use it for our sessions. And how can Stonnington assist with this? Well, contribution to a small lending library of devices to access the internet, perhaps, or assist with personalised training in use of devices, thus supplementing assistance that's currently provided by Stonnington libraries. Changing tack a bit, I was asked to have 2040 vision tonight. I'm currently very concerned about 2021, to be honest. We currently have enthusiastic members and guests attending all the sessions that we're offering, but it's difficult to know how many members will re-enroll in 2021. We plan to advertise widely. U3A Stonnington will welcome anyone who is interested in participating in our program. We neither require nor award qualifications. I believe there will be significant numbers of underemployed people in the near future who may find our program would give them a constructive way of filling these enforced so-called leisure hours, that is, ways to fill their lives with meaning. Stonnington Council have generously provided an excellent building for us, largely rebuilt for our purposes. We hope to refill the building with members when it's safe for us to return to it. So what else do we want from Stonnington Council? Well, mention of U3A Stonnington on the council website, for example, in the What's On sections, especially al fresco. Just to conclude, successful ageing is more than living many years. It's positive engagement with life, intellectually, socially, and physically. We believe U3A Stonnington currently contributes significantly to the positive ageing goals of Stonnington Council and will continue to do so in the future. Thank you.
So Poppy and I, we thought about the question, but we also had some other visions as well that we had thought about. But one of the things with the question was that now, because we're all at home, I've been bike riding a lot more and kind of out in the Gardeners Creek, which is near where I live. And So I had some ideas about bike paths because a lot of people are like driving to work or school, and that's obviously not very good for the environment. And so I was thinking about kind of different bike paths and sort of things like that that are safe and easy to access for every different part of Stonnington, because some places they don't really have access to bike paths.
Nice.
So that was one of the things I was thinking about. And in my other things, it's not really related to the question, but another vision for sustainability is community composting. So so in the future, I think that community composting will be important because food waste is becoming a bigger problem now, and many people don't have access to compost bins, or they don't really know how to use them. So if every community had a compost bin, everyone could be contributing and putting like vegetable scraps into the compost.
Nice.
So if they did that, then it would help the environment, but also the communities could come together and kind of like make new friendships, or get to know the people that are living in their community. And community composting is also a good thing because you can, wherever you live, it can be accessible because it doesn't need too much space. And so it's quite accessible for everyone, but it also helps the environment.
So I'm Puffy, and my role as one of Stonington's Youth Sustainability Ambassadors has been to share simple, everyday sustainable actions that anyone could do. These suggestions have covered waste management at home, biodiversity in our parks and gardens, and being efficient with energy. It's hard to think about 2040 as it feels so far away. But I'm going to use my simple everyday ideas and talk about what they could be like in the future. Specifically, I'm going to talk about biodiversity and urban farming. I helped promote and participated in the Backyard Biodiversity Blitz in June this year. This is one of the few times I know of where the council has recorded what animals and plants live in Stonnington. Imagine if in 2040 Stonnington had a complete record of all species. Students at local schools are taught what lives near them. They can recognise all different habitats and the things that live there. They also know what to do to protect them. Annual counts of species have high participation rates as well. This year, we've all been closer to home and valuing what we have close to us. It is a great way for us to start building a better biodiversity in Stonnington. My next point is about urban farming. What if by 2040 you go to the supermarket and some of the veggies were grown on the roof of that building? What if by 2040 we had found many places over Stonnington for people to farm? New developments could include them, nature strips could thrive, office buildings would be green, and shopping centres could contribute. Last year I visited New York on a family holiday and found many places in the bustling city where food was grown. One example was on top of a Whole Foods store in Brooklyn where we visited an automated greenhouse. This supplied the store with lettuce and herbs, the things that don't travel so well. My experience of COVID has made it even clearer how we need to be closer to the food we eat. These are just a couple of things I'd like to see in Stonington's future. Thank you.